You are listening to Wealthy Muslim Woman Podcast, episode number 7. Assalamualaikum everyone. I hope you all are doing well. So I was being told that my voice on the podcast is very low. So today I am trying something new. I got a new mic and we're trying a new app as well. So hopefully this helps. I also sent the old audios to somebody else to edit to see if they can increase the volume on those, and I'll try to upload them again to make them sound better. Sorry for that trouble, but I am literally trying to do this as I work full-time and as a full-time mom, so just bear with me. Anyways, today we will be speaking about retirement accounts. How do we want to support ourselves once we are done with working? And unfortunately, this is an area that many of our earlier generations or people in our community do not think about much. I think it's expected that once you have kids and the kids are grown, then hopefully they'll want to take care of the parents and support them financially and otherwise. But that's something that we should not rely on. First, we don't know how our kids' lives are going to turn out, how much responsibility they'll have with their families, and if they'll be able to provide or not for the parents. So we should all be prepared for ourselves. So the major question is, how much do I need to save and how much do I need to invest for my retirement? And there are no specific guidelines for that, especially especially those that apply to every single person. They vary. Some of the questions that you can ask yourself is, how many years do you have until you retire? If you are a young person in early 20s, 30s, do you want to work the next 30, 40 years? Or if you're somebody who's older, close to 40, 50s, and you want to retire in the next 10, 15 years by the time you turn 65. So how much time do you have? That's one of the questions that you need to ask yourself. I'm not sure if you've heard of the FIRE movement, financial independence, retire early. That's when a lot of young folks are basically trying to say goodbye to the working and retiring at a young age at 30s, 40s, and not have to work after that. This movement is called the FIRE movement, and thus you have to answer, how old are you gonna be when you retire? If you're gonna be retiring at age 40, then you have to plan for a greater number of years. The life expectancy has increased recently as well, so you need to see when you're retiring, how old you're gonna be, and how many years do you think you need to plan for. And then another thing to consider is, how much do you already have right now? Do you have any investments already that will help you? Any real estate investments, any stock investments, anything else that is going to help you support you when you retire? And another thing to consider would be, how well do you want to live in retirement? Do you want to travel? We love traveling and we hope to continue to travel when we are done working. So what is going to be your budget for traveling? And how are you investing your nest eggs? What kind of retirement do you expect from that? Is the money sitting as cash in your house and losing value, versus invested in a high risky place with individual stocks that could be at risk of loss over the next years if the market goes down? And then what exactly is your risk tolerance and how are you handling your portfolio? So mainly there are three options for investments. One is individual stocks, and that could be a high risk because you are investing in one company. You want to diversify your investments. So if you are investing in individual stocks, individual companies, then your portfolio is at a higher risk because the one company could collapse at any time, and thus your hard-earned money could be lost. Then the other option is bonds, which is low risk investment. It is relatively low risk investment, but the return on that is also lower, with averages around 4 to 6%. And then the other option is holding your money as cash or in things like CDs. So your portfolio should be changing depending on how old you are right now and how closer you are getting to your retirement age. One of the rules that I saw was 100 minus subtract your age, and that's how much you should have in stocks or in a higher risk portfolio. So if you are 34 right now, then 100 minus 34, 66% of your investment should be in a relatively higher risk. Now, I forgot to mention with stocks, the one option is the individual companies. So if you just want to buy Amazon, if you just want to buy Apple. But another great option is index funds. This is when you have a group of companies. So a group of investors get together and they together buy group of companies. And so it could be, option one could be Apple, Amazon, Google, Facebook, all of them combined together. You are buying that as a group instead of buying individually. So this way your money is diversified and you are less riskier than buying an individual stock. So that's in the same category. So I do not buy any individual companies. I've done that before in the past, and right now I'm just doing index funds. And so that counts as category one. And then category two would be safer investment, where it's basically your money is staying there and hopefully it's beating at least the inflation that's going to happen, but you're not making much gain on it. And then you could have some cash, and for me, the amount of cash I keep is emergency fund for next 3 to 4 months that I may need. God forbid, if anything happens, then I don't have to worry for 3 to 4 months, and I'm able to look for a job or find another way to support myself and my family. So that's the amount of cash I like to keep. So all these things are what you need to consider for your retirement. And then for the amount of money that you'll need to take out, there is another kind of a rule that once you have your portfolio set, let's say you want to save $1 million for your retirement, so you have $1 million saved as a portfolio growing, money saved for you, then what percentage should you be taking out each year? And one of the rule is 4%. So if you think you're gonna be able to live at $40,000 a year, then 1 million savings may be good enough for you. These are the withdrawal rates, safe withdrawal rates. Some people say it should be between 4 to 6% of your starting portfolio. 4% seems to be the safest. There's some data that shows that if you have 5% or higher than that, then there is higher probability that a retirement will not go well. So you'll basically end up spending your money beforehand, and you may need more after. Then what are different types of income that you can expect when you retire? A lot of people currently depend on Social Security as an additive income, and then pension, and then your own savings. With the way things are going politically, we don't know if Social Security is going to be there. So I personally don't count it as something that I could depend on. If it's there, wonderful, great. But if not, then I want to be able to take care of myself. And then if you have a job, government type of job, how much pension can you expect? And then we have a different type of retirement accounts where you can save your money. So there is IRA, which is individual retirement account. And why should you want to use these retirement accounts? There's IRAs, there's 401ks, and then there's Roth accounts. The number one reason for using these retirement accounts is to get tax saving. So any contribution that you make to regular 401k or individual retirement accounts, you are saving money away before taxes. So if you have a high income and you end up paying a lot of taxes at the end of the year, then one way to save on those is to contribute to these retirement accounts. And with regular 401k and regular IRAs, what ends up happening is that you will pay tax on the money when you retire, but the money will have grown tax-free. So let's say you turn 65 and your portfolio has grown good amount over the years from growth and dividends and everything else, and you have good amount saved up, and at year 65 you're going to start taking out $50,000 a year from your account. You will be taxed at that $50,000 instead of currently where you may be making $100,000 or $200,000, and you are taxed at that level. So your retirement money has grown tax-free over the years, and you did not pay tax. You saved on taxes when your income was high, and the thought process is that your income will likely be lower, not as same as you're working when you retire, so you will be paying less taxes annually. So if your company offers a 401k, if your company offers any type of these retirement accounts with tax benefits and savings, you should definitely take advantage of these and save that money for your retirement. The other type of accounts are Roth accounts. So there is Roth 401k and there are Roth IRAs. These were created back in late 1990s, I think 1997. And these accounts, the money that you are investing in these accounts has already been taxed. So if I wanted to switch my account, my company offers both a regular 401k and a Roth 401k. The contribution that I would make to Roth 401k would get taxed right now. What is the benefit of that? The benefit of that is that since your money is already taxed currently, the money will grow tax-free still, but when you retire, you are able to take that money out tax-free. since you've already paid tax on this money anyways. So if you think your retirement income is going to be high and you may be responsible for a lot more taxes in your retirement, that one way to save would be in these Roth accounts, and that way your tax burden will be lower when you retire. Now these are retirement accounts and you are getting some tax saving. So obviously IRS puts a limit on how much you could save. So for 401k, the 2019 limit is $19,000 annually. That is the employee limit for contribution. If you try to take this money out before you turn 59 and a half, then there is a penalty, 10% penalty, and obviously paying tax for the income that you're taking out. And so 19,000 is the limit as an employee, but your employer can also contribute for you towards your accounts, and that's something that's called match. So when you're looking for a job, and you shouldn't only look at the salary being offered, you should also look at what type of retirement accounts are being offered, and especially if they offer any match. So depending on the company, you could get 1%, 2%, 3%, or 4% match from your employer towards your retirement account. So they may also contribute. The overall contribution limit, I believe, is close to $56,000. So especially if you're self-employed, if you have 1099 income and you pay yourself, you are the employer and you are the employee, then you can contribute a lot more towards your retirement accounts. So definitely something to consider and plan for. Obviously, we don't know how long we're gonna live, but we are encouraged to plan for our future and try to have a safer portfolio for when you want to retire. And I wanted to say something else about the retirement accounts, but I think that's it. We're almost reaching the 18 minutes, so I thought I want to try to give you as much high yield information in the less amount of time, and obviously that's not possible to do always. So we'll talk about all this stuff later. Again, I'm sure it'll come up. If you have any questions, you can also put them, send them to me, and I'll be happy to answer them. Okay? All right, inshallah. Till next week. Bye.